나한테 보내지는 않을래 느린 한마디보다 조용함이 더 좋아.
Welcome to the KYP podcast. My name is Danny. I'm here with my co-host
Eugene's James.
Kevin G. I don't have it this time.
No, I love that song. You know, Jay always sends me some random ass videos where every time New Gene releases a video, you know those memes where you see the guy from American Psycho walking like
Patrick
super serious.
Bateman.
Yeah. I saw that in the group chat.
Yeah,
And then you see on the bottom is just New Jeans playing. It's like, what's on my earphone?
Some K-pop song.
That's you with the motorcycle.
Yeah, that's me with everything, honestly. Like if I remember when I had my motorcycle license, I would blast because my helmet has like a built-in Bluetooth audio in it. And I would blast K-pop while driving 100 kilometers an hour on the highway because all the other students, they had shitty helmets. So you're not allowed to put in earphones.
Yep.
But then for me, it's just speakers in my helmet. So I'm just driving and I'm like bopping my head. And then when you're driving really fast and you turn your head, the wind just knocks your head to the side and you have to like drag your head back.
Oof, that's a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, but you get used to it.
But New Jeans is a K-pop sensation.
Was that what we were just listening to?
Yeah, the song is called Hurt.
And you don't know any of the songs? I'm sure you know.
I'm sure I can recognize them if you play it for me.
Give me
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Give me one. Give me one.
But in that song, I recognize some Korean words. Poko shiposo. I miss you.
I don't know. I wasn't listening. Was it?
It was.
It was.
Poko shiposo.
Yeah. Wait for the chorus. Hey.
Can
You
you
know that song?
interpret? Can you interpret what they were saying?
I wasn't listening. I'm all about the vibe,
okay.
bro.
Can you interpret the vibe for me?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I suck at Korean. That's what she's saying.
I didn't know that. I always just assumed you're a Korean god.
No. I just look like a Korean god. That's it.
Phony.
But I think it brings up the topic. I mean, you know, we grew up listening to all of these songs and all of these things. And even if I'm a grown-up adult, I'm like 27 right now, I still love the little K-pop stuff, like girly groups. I watch anime still. But
I'm appreciating it.
I'm appreciating
as
a lot more.
As I'm getting older. In my young and mid 20s, I sort of rejected it.
Yeah, it was also kind of not as cool as it is.
That's
now.
very true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It was kind of when we were growing up, the anime K-pop people weren't necessarily the cool kids.
I'm just
They
saying
were kind of made fun of.
It was a bit too repetitive.
Yeah.
Now there's a bit of flavor, I feel.
Honestly, I feel now is a bit more repetitive. Back then, there was a lot more flavor. Like
really?
Third
It's the opposite?
generation. Yeah. Like now, I can't distinguish any new groups. They all sound alike to me.
True.
It's
'Cause
all
now
commercialized.
the formula is so honed in.
Exactly.
But I'm saying like when the big groups that really shine, the ones that get really big, like they just really stand out compared to the rest. I don't know why. But it's true though. They're very skilled because of the older generation. Like their dancing is crazy.
Yeah, but
these
now the
days.
choreography is crazy.
Yeah, it's advanced.
But yeah, let's hop into the topic. You know, a lot of people discuss about, you know, being a kid growing up, still being a kid while we're still adults. But not a lot of people talk about, is it too late to grow up when you're already grown up? You know, you see so many people on social media, you know, teenagers, 18, they're like TikTok stars. They make a bank. They make a living. They're out there driving nice cars. You see even people, they graduate from school, become consultant. And I'm here sitting 27, broke artist. I'm like still eating instant noodles, you know. I'm here like, what the fuck? Did I miss the train somewhere to like grow up?
And a very smart dude as well, right?
Debatable.
Too humble. Too humble.
Try my best, but because we were having a topic with Kevin, right? And we are talking about how it took a lot of time for us to improve as human beings. How, yes, different people have different growth spur, and not even in a sense of physical, more like mentally and everything else around it, where you realize that shit, I don't need to party all the time. I don't need to get fucking shit-faced wasted on the weekend. I need to grow up. I need to look at my future. I need to work on my career. I have to take care of the people that are really close around me, because when you're a teenager, everyone's your friend. You want to go drink with some random guy that you met 2 weeks ago at Ghana Bar who hit you up. But now we grow up and we realize that the people, if ever you're in a tough spot and you call your friend, those people that will pick up at 3 a.m. are the real G's. They're the real ones.
Yeah.
And
And it's a lot less than what it used to be when you were younger.
mhm.
Yeah. You start to realize the people closest to you, there's only a few of them. So you have to be very considerate and grateful for them and show that.
I mean, we've been friends since how long, man?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think you guys knew each other since elementary or high
Yeah,
school?
I want to say at least like grade 6 or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Very young, for sure. And it's great to, and all my friends actually are like, we've been friends for years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a friend that's like I met a year ago or 2 years ago. Danny, it's been what, 5-6 years? It's gonna get to 10 one day, man.
Yeah.
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 And also, as an adult, it's a lot harder to socialize, right? Because in school, there's campus activities. Everybody's always together. You're always in the same classes. It's so easy to make new friends and socialize with people. As an adult, you have work. After work, you may be gym, you may be not. You cook yourself a meal, and that's pretty much your night, right? You do some of your hobbies before going to bed, and that's it. You have to make a conscious effort to really go out and meet new people, right?
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have a hard time doing that.
Yeah,
I can, but
yeah,
not by choice.
yeah.
I think the biggest difference between most people with adults, us as adult with our friend group, is that back then your friends were based on your social validation or your social status, how you want to be perceived by the world. Now you hold people who holds the same value as you. So
Yes,
let's say
100%.
if Jay is a hardworking dude, family oriented, but then suddenly he meets up with me and I'm this reckless ass dude who never wants to have kids, never wants to be married, goes around and flirts with girls all the time, then James doesn't really have any incentives to keep up with me. Yeah, maybe I'm interesting to talk to, but he can't connect on a value basis or on a belief basis with
So
me.
like then that's what we would call like an acquaintance.
Yeah,
Like, we
exactly.
can hang out for short periods of time and talk about surface level things, but we don't really hold the same values to be able to spend that much.
But those
time
things
together.
change. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think so.
Yeah, that's why your friends change too sometimes.
Like, we haven't hung out like there was a while we didn't hang out for years
Yeah,
after college, and then
our friendship really kind of took off.
It was like a roller
recently,
coaster.
Yeah,
Yeah. We played basketball together, so we valued that. And then the creative side, when you came to me and then you started like wanting to explore that, and that's how your values changed. You know what I mean? We had different values back then, right? You didn't value creativity or like social media or anything like that back then. So it does change. I just think you need to keep an open mind.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely the open mind is the biggest thing. I think people are too stuck in their bubble.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm comfortable with. This is the only type of people I want to hang around with.
Yeah.
And it really sucks. And it's on two sides of a coin, right? Like, if you always hang out with the people who parties and things like that, then you never get that ambition to grow and to be the better version of yourself. But on the flip side, if you only hang out with people who are only hustle, 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 I have 6 businesses, I sleep 3 hours, I take cold
bath.
shower in the
Yeah.
morning, then suddenly like you feel you're behind everyone. You feel left out. You feel that you're not going at 100%, even though you're going at 100%. And that leads to burnout. It's a fine line between finding people who can bring you up that mountain, but also the people that can celebrate with you when you reach the first meter of the mountain.
I think that's our group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Danny and then we have Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin celebrates when we just take one step up the mountain, and I'm not even happy when we get to the top of the mountain.
I'm just happy I'm there.
I'm just happy that everything goes well audio wise.
Yeah. I just like, you know,
Kevin's happy that he's here.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm
Yeah.
always so happy to come back. I just love watching you guys cook. It's, you know, it's astonishing for me. Like for me, I don't know as much about the technical stuff, and
Me neither, man.
yeah, to walk in and have this type of setup and be a part of this, it's really something special for me. And you know, this last year has really been about my kind of, for myself at least, it marks a year of a lot of self-improvement and development and maturing. And I think, you know, early on when I started this, I started it with, you know, when I came to you guys and I was so enthusiastic and I had a vision, I was kind of manic.
Yeah, you've really calmed down since then.
Right?
Yeah.
But I told you that, like, I'm going crazy right now. I have a vision. I just needed to let it all out. Remember, it was like a 1 month period where I was just amped. I would see you. I would come to your house, you and Mina's house.
Yeah.
Like 3 times a week. I'm like, oh, let's fucking go.
Be
you
smoking
know,
weed,
we're gonna do this,
drinking.
we're gonna do that.
We were like, you were cooking. You were
Yeah.
cooking something for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, at that moment, I knew that whatever I was feeling wasn't sustainable, and
Sure.
that part of the vision is going to, you know, we focus in our conversations early on the really exciting parts, right? Like, oh, what this could be, you know, if we did this and if we did that. But I knew in the back of my head, part of that journey would be to get the kind of not fun stuff out of the way, like building the habits that are going to be able to sustain what we want to grow into in the future, right? And that's something I'm learning about self-improvement. It's not like you're doing it for a goal. It's like what you do now determines what you're going to be down the line, right? So if you have a vision for yourself of being this type of person, you have to start doing what that type of person does now. Like, you know, if you want to be, for me, in the future, something I very value is a family. I definitely want to be a father. I want to be a family man, and I'm getting closer to the age. I'm almost 30, right?
Yep.
So I often get intrusive thoughts now, like, would I be able to handle the responsibility of a household right now? Like in my daily routine, and then I start thinking about my daily routine. Like, you know, I smoke weed all the time. I watch Netflix. You know, I leave everything to the last minute. So the last 3 months for me, I've really been focusing on kind of getting the little stuff in my life together. Like keeping a clean house, cooking at home, doing the dishes, making my bed every day, getting exercise, taking some time on the weekend, not just to go out, but have, you know, interesting experiences on my own, going to museums, exploring interests I like. And because, you know, that's kind of the type of person I need to be in the future to be able to do everything I want. Family is just one of those things. There's the podcast, there's, you know, my career. And so it's starting to click for me. And that's kind of the perception I have in my mind, that that I found to work the best for me to kind of get me to take the steps of improving.
So do you guys feel that a lot of times the biological clock in every sense of the word is responsible for a lot of people's growth, where, you know, I wouldn't say mostly men, where they start hitting 30s and they look back and they go, oh fuck, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to have a family in like
Yeah.
a few years, and I'm still working a dead end job. I'm still doing this. I'm not happy with my life. Kevin, I think you're breathing in the mic.
Sorry about that.
So do you think just fucking ruined my train of thought?
Who's snoring in here, man?
My bad.
It's like, yo, there's like a gust of wind flying in
His
the mic.
biological clock is ticking, man. He's like an old man.
All right, let's get back on topic, guys.
But yeah, that's basically that. Do you think biological clock plays a big factor?
I think it definitely contributes, because I would say, you know, would you guys agree that men compared to women are late bloomers in terms of growing up and getting their shit together?
Definitely.
Yeah, we're definitely more mature.
Yeah.
I mean, you see our posts, man.
Yeah.
No, I'd say even in terms of career, right? Like as if we take your typical 9 to 5 person, how many people can you count percentage of population that graduates school and gets a 100K job? Very few people.
Yeah, 10%.
I think even lower maybe.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what it is for guys is that they graduate, they work as, let's say, in junior analyst. Then after a year, they get promoted to analyst, then consultant, senior consultant. And then from that point, they either try to climb the corporate ladder or they jump around jobs to get a better salary. And jumping around, it takes a few years to gain that 100K salary. You don't jump one job to another and suddenly gain 1K, especially if you start with a base salary of like, what, 50 grand a year.
Yeah.
You don't go from 50 to 100. You maybe go 55, 65, 75, 90, and then you hit the 100. And so that's why guys are late bloomer in a sense of career-wise.
We hit our prime later.
We hit our
in
prime
terms of
around like
value.
35 or something like that.
So I think it's a social clock.
It's a social clock.
So like, oh, I'm 28. What am I doing in my life? Oh, I'm 30. What am I doing in life? You know, when you're 21, it's like, I got time. No one complains that like, oh, what are you doing with your life? You're 21. No one ever says that.
No.
You should be partying when you're 21.
Yeah.
Once you hit 25, it's like, oh, you're supposed to get a job. You're supposed to be graduated. You're supposed to be doing something.
Expectations, like the
Social
expectations
expectations,
on a grown ass adult man is like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like nobody feels
Yeah.
sorry for you, or nobody's gonna be like, okay, yeah, great, enjoy your life, have fun. Everybody's gonna be kind of like, okay, time to get serious. No,
I think men in their 20s is like the hardest. It's like a high school. When you go to high school, it's like a jungle. 20 to 30 is the hardest for us because there's so much pressure on us to grow up, right? To get a good job, get a house, get a mortgage. You know how many times people tell me to get a mortgage? If I can get a house now, I'm like 28. Like, I'm trying to put less pressure on myself with already so much pressure going on, you know?
how I view it, it's kind of like, you know, when we were younger in our teens or early 20s, we're like, oh, I don't have to worry about this. Future
It's
Kevin
here, man. It's here.
will deal with it.
Yeah.
We're
We're in the future right now.
Jay's, future daddy. Yeah.
And then 6 years later, you're like rolled up in a corner with a bottle of vodka rolling underneath. You're crying in a corner. Like, what the fuck? Why did that person did
Yeah,
not just...
man.
I know. So I think we're gonna peak. Like I think men's prime is like 40, like career wise,
Yeah.
like in a social standard. With the family, you have a mortgage, you have a like 6-figure salary, hopefully. But 20s is tough, man.
Yeah. Also, in terms of even if you take the other side, like entrepreneurship, starting a business, having side incomes.
The clock is reducing now. Now,
Yeah.
to be 21, you need to have at least 2 side hustles.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's
so
getting
fun.
younger Because the
With the cost of
15-year-old,
living too.
the
Yeah.
15-year-old has 100K followers on Instagram and has 2 side hustles.
Yeah.
Like nowadays.
No, I remember when I started photography at the age of 16, and I just did it for fun. Like I wanted to film my sea walk videos, so my dad bought me a camera. And then I got to, I think, around 19, and I was taking pictures for the Hallyu people and people at Mary. So everyone knew me as the guy with the camera. And then I hit 20, 21. And then a student organization, I do remember, it's called the JSEC, the Sustainability Group
At Concordia?
at Concordia, at JMSB.
JMSB, yeah.
They're like, hey, Danny, we heard that a friend referred us to you and you do photography. Would you like to shoot for us? Like, we're doing team photos. Our budget is like $100. Like, holy shit, you can get paid for this shit.
21.
That's when it clicked for you.
I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, I can get paid?
Because
I
you're
was
doing it
thinking
for free, eh?
I took every job I could find for like $150. And like, I didn't even realize you could have a side hustle. But I guess now with social media, it's so prevalent that everyone has a side business. And even if it's not I don't want to say a legit side business, but even though it's not a conventional side business, let's say some people have a YouTube channel on the side. Some people are influencers, so they have sponsors on their side.
Some people have a
having
podcast.
different streams of, or 3 waste men talking on a fucking podcast.
With expensive equipment.
So even if you don't have these things, a lot of these kids, they have these unconventional ways of gaining income. Even if you look at the 9 to 5 types of people, the engineers, all the coding people, they have this concept called, like, I can't remember what it was, but it was overworking, or I can't remember what it is. But
Not sure, yeah.
you work 2 full-time jobs as a
my
coder
God.
because you are so efficient with your code that you can finish your 9 to 5 from your first company in 20 hours.
Yes.
And then you can spend the other 20 hours working another job.
I read an article about a guy that did 3 jobs,
Yeah.
made like 300K a year, and then he worked 5 hours at this job, 2 hours on that job, and the meetings he was just juggling between different jobs.
It's
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Is it
It all comes down to how you were raised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also necessity. Some people
And necessity, for sure.
Their circumstances
Yes.
necessitate it. So
Oh, it's being overemployed.
overemployed.
Yeah.
Overemployed.
Because with inflation, everything, especially these coders and everything, they live.
They work at home as well.
They work at home, but they live in New
Big
York.
factor.
They live in San Fran.
Yeah.
They live in Cali. You can't live a comfortable life under 200 grand.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're basically home. Okay, I wouldn't say basically homeless, but you're
You're
like
like the-
under median if you're making 150 grand.
You're struggling.
You're struggling
To get
You're
a
living
mortgage.
paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, paycheck to paycheck.
That's why the big city life is starting, like the allure of the big city life is starting to crack for me, even in Toronto. And we're not even at that 200K you're struggling level, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely see in the future as I develop personally and eventually with a family, we're moving
farm. Your dad's
further and further away
Remote.
from the city for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
like
at least
suburbs.
suburban.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't take this Toronto big city life that much.
You're sick of it already? It's
getting there,
It's been less
yeah.
than a year, eh?
Because it's so, like the allure is so surface level, like all the big nice restaurants, but then you start going to a lot of them. I go to a lot of them for work. All these corporate kind of expense card restaurants, I call it, corporate traps. They all start to look the same. They have the exact same menu items. You have to have the scallop, you have to have the uni, you have to have this, and all of them just have a different version of it. All these nice bars and clubs. The venue looks amazing. The people look beautiful. But then you go into every one of them, it's always the same thing. It's just pay to win. You just see a bunch of, people showing off their bottles. Nobody's dancing. Nobody's actually partying. Like,
It's the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's like it looks nice on the outside, but there's no substance.
You know, I understand that
No
feeling
soul.
because there was a spot that opened in Griffintown. It's a Viet place called. Okay, I won't name drop, but it's a Viet
Promote
bar. I didn't really like their food honestly, but they had
Huh?
an event. Sorry.
Huh?
Just
No, it's
leave
not
it,
hot.
leave it,
Oh,
leave
okay,
it,
okay.
leave it.
How is pretty good though.
So they
Don't name
had
drop. Don't name drop.
No danger.
so they had this
Auto pod.
menu, and you know they invited me for an influencer event. So the influencer, there's an entire table of food bloggers, so they know their shit. I'm sitting with one of my protege Nam,
Protege now.
and then two people from the Viet newspaper. So they're like as fresh off the boat as you can say.
Oh,
they
like straight up Vietnamese?
straight up Vietnamese. They barely like touch the concrete
FOB?
off the boat.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like FOB and cap.
Damn.
And then all the rest are all like white people.
Okay.
And they start serving the food and they call themselves like authentic Viet. And I get a bowl of pho.
How much is it?
I don't know. It was free for
it's
all of
catered.
us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look down. There's bone marrow and gold flakes in it.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah.
Like, bruh, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
It's one of those places that's catered for the corporate people, for the people you come after work,
Yeah.
you pay. Guess what? I discovered the price. That's a $50 bowl of pho.
They do this because it's the 90% of the clientele are paying with the corporate card or the expense
Exactly.
card.
It's peasant food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be peasant.
it's supposed
Pho,
to.
right? It's supposed to be peasant.
yeah.
I
food.
took a sip of it, of the broth. I look up at the two guys from Tabao, and then they look at me and I'm like,
No words needed. To
it
be
was
said.
too sweet. And that's
Uh,
coming from a South Vietnamese guy
Yeah.
who's used to South Vietnam's known for sweet food,
Yeah.
sweet and savory. And they're just like, nah, this ain't it, bro. In Viet.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, we were pretty disappointed of the menu. Like, I wrote down everything. I sat down with the owner. I'm like, okay, let me trash your menu in 5 minutes.
Really?
You let them know.
Yeah, I let him know.
Was it a successful launch though? Or?
For them, it was a successful launch, but I wasn't a big fan of their food. People love their food, but
We have to think of it as a white person.
oh yeah, as a white
Yeah.
person, it's like amazing for you.
Okay, gotcha. That's the thing. Is it good for Asian people or is it good for white people? Like,
It's good for white people.
there you go. So it's a corporate trap.
Exactly. It's a corporate trap. It's even if you're not, let's say, even though you're Asian and you're not a foodie, right? Kevin, would you consider yourself a foodie?
I think we all are.
Yeah, I'm a casual foodie.
Okay, casual foodie. But for me, I love food. Like, I'm a food photographer, and
Yeah.
like food is the core of how I shoot. I
Right.
put
Of
love
course.
in the
Yeah.
pictures that I shoot.
Yes.
So even if I shoot for one of my clients and I get to taste the food, I shit on the food and I tell the client. Like for Sansote ramen, when he first gave me the bowl of ramen and I tasted the chashu, I'm like, dude, that's not the right chashu to have. It's too lean.
And you're not trying to be disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful.
It's like, oh, you have something on your face.
Exactly. It's because I have respect for your
Yeah.
establishment that will let you know, right? And especially if that person, on top of that, the owner of Sansote, he saw me taking pictures of it and he asked me for my opinion, and that's why I gave my opinion. But it's kind of unwarranted if you walk up to an owner, you're like, your food is shit. I wouldn't even feed it to my dog. That's kind of unwarranted.
Yeah.
But if they ask you
Out
for
of
your
respect.
honest-
Yeah.
out of respect,
Respectfully. Yeah.
you don't want to be that two-faced person who's like, oh, it's so good. I love it. Everyone will love their food.
Yeah.
But I think that culture makes it so that a lot of people, restaurant owners, are delusional with their menu. And you walk in, and next thing you know, you have a seafood. You're going for a 5 assiettes. There's a seafood platter for $300, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it makes sense in terms of like financials and
Yeah.
monetary.
The market.
gain.
That's what the market.
It's the
wants.
market wants it.
And speaking of that, you know, the market has birthed another phenomenon in restaurants specifically, or kind of bar stuff, the Instagrammable
Oh, yeah.
restaurant or establishment, where it's like the business is coming only because your venue is Instagrammable. Like
They always have to have that sign with the fucking
The
neon,
neon, man.
at the bathroom
Yeah.
and the big ass mirror.
That's tacky now. Now, if you go to Korea, bro, every spot it needs to be Instagrammable. It's like a criteria.
Yeah.
Because
you can't even open a laundromat if you're not Instagrammable.
like it's because it's so competitive and there's so many people, and online is like such a huge like driver for business in Korea. Everything has to be aesthetically pleasing, and it is. When you go there, it's like, wow, this is nice.
At this point, if I open a business in Korea, I'm gonna just have those hole in a wall and just make the front of my store really aesthetic so I can save money.
Like aesthetic sells.
Yeah. And it's all social media, you know. Even if it's not social media, it's even personality wise, right? Everyone's telling you need to read books, you need to listen to podcasts, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's tough for someone who's growing up or is growing up. Let's say I don't know about you guys, but after I turned 25, I stopped counting my age. Like,
Yeah, I forget what my age is sometimes.
yeah, I still think I'm 25 at times. So, you know, you hit 25, 24, 25, and suddenly you hear all these people. They're like, you know, I have a second brain on my computer where I have all my productivity apps. I have all of this. I read books. I take cold showers. Sorry, I always love to dunk on people who take cold showers
is the funniest one.
because I used to do it. But
Did it help?
yeah, it helped a lot because I have back pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm that old.
Okay, can I admit to something too? I also, in the morning when I take my shower, I end it with like it on super cold
Yeah.
for a minute or two. I think it's just really a great way to wake you up. Yeah. But let's go back to making fun of them.
Anyway, they're like,
Fucking cold shower pussies.
so the thing about the cold shower is that I used to do it in football too because it helps recover your muscles after they were worked out.
That's why I do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But then a lot of people just take a cold shower for the mindset that they're suffering, and their suffering equals growth. And I'm like, that's a very
Cold showers cure depression. You didn't hear about that?
that's a very masochistic way of looking at life. But sure, you do you, bro. But yeah, I think there's so much pressure on everyone to just have something going on in their life. Like, how do you guys feel about all this productivity, all this hustle culture being shoved down your throat? And do you think it really affects your growth, or does it make you feel like you want to like quit everything and just be a couch potato, or do you want to improve and like outperform everyone else?
I definitely think, I obviously want to improve, but I don't want to do it because because I want to show off to other people or fit in with other people. I think that type of phenomenon right now, it's just comparison, right? And social media has made comparison not only so much easier, but unavoidable. It's not like, we make a conscious effort. We are bombarded with images of other people nonstop since the moment we wake up in the morning, right? Where, on your phone, it's just other people doing cooler things or interesting things that you're not doing or having more stuff, right? So yeah, I think it's just comparison, and bringing it back to like the whole self-improvement stuff. This is something that I've realized is at the key of my progress. Like, I have to manage my influence by those things, right? Sometimes FOMO, right?
Oh, it took me a second.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like, this type of the social media and this concept of comparison, does it affect you guys at all?
It used to when I was 21, when it used to be my thing, like what I used to love to do. Now, as a 28-year-old, I don't give a fuck about it. I don't give a fuck about what I see on social media. It's there. The guy has cool clothes, cool. Before I was like, yo, I need that thing. I need to go on Supreme at 11 a.m., fucking cop the next Supreme item, and post it on Instagram when I receive it. That's how I used to like think of things. Now it's like, tone down, save the money. You don't need it. You buy it if you like it, but you don't have to buy it because everyone else is buying it, And I think that's a huge point in my growth where it doesn't just focus on yourself. Don't look at everything else around you. Just really look at what you're doing right now. You know, just look at yourself. If you feel comfortable with yourself, just do your thing. You know, and because it's just a waste of time and money at the end of the day. All those, it's just bullshit out there. It is comparison. It is competition. And there's algorithm is feeding you, man. It's trying to just pull you out of this matrix bullshit.
Yeah, because it feeds off it. It makes money off that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And
All the ads and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not give a fuck, right? To achieve the not give a fuck mindset, I think
it's a hard one.
I think that's what growing up is, or being a grown person is, right? Because when we're younger, you'll see teenagers like it's so clicky, right? And you have to wear this, or if you don't have this, you're not gonna fit in. Oh my God, mom, if I don't have this, I'm not gonna fit in. Everybody's gonna hit me.
Yeah, for real.
But then you see grown ass adults with families, with mortgages, with kids. They're like, I don't give a fuck.
I got real problems.
Like people are making fun of, hey, you're wearing the wrong T-shirt, or you don't have the new Yeezys. Those are fake. Like, shut the fuck up, man. I'm trying to pick up my kids. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. Even for me, like, because I work with boomers.
Yeah.
My problems, like, they're
so
young.
I can't even mention.
They're double my age, right? Triple my age.
We talk about our problems with the boomer.
Yeah, it's an
class.
insult for them.
Like. It just makes them happy. I see like, I wish I was young again with no problems.
Like I was talking to one of my to one of the guys. He's a like father, 2 kids. He's in his mid 50s, and he's like, at your age, because we were talking about like mortgages and stuff. At your age, I couldn't even afford a fucking mortgage. I didn't have a down payment, I didn't have anything. I'm here talking like, oh yeah, like I'm thinking of getting a house, getting a mortgage. He's like, at that age, I did not think about that. You know, I had 2 kids. I had a kid, and then I had no money. You know, it's a different time. And then I just realized, oh, we're fucking privileged.
So privileged, yeah.
Yeah, like the technology we have, the how our parents work so hard. Like our age right now is like prime. Like
yeah, we get to complain about our problems.
But I think that's why the social clock makes it a lot of pressure, because we have so much privilege and chance.
Because it's always relative to your surroundings.
Yes,
right?
it is. Yeah.
So I think the funny thing is that, yes, it's a social clock, but we are the last generation which had a time before we didn't have technology.
Yeah, the 90s.
And then we have a time where we still understand technology. Like the generation before us, yeah, they didn't have technology.
Like our parents,
like you tell them to schedule a post on IG, they're like, the fuck is IG?
Pretty much, yeah.
But then we know what it was going outside, kicking a ball in a yard, and also like having to tell your mom to hang up the fucking phone so you can like go on AOL and text your friends.
Yeah, I still remember Windows 95, you know, like
you had to remember numbers
box
or
computers.
write them down.
Yeah.
Remember the floppy disks?
Oh yeah.
Like I remember that. That was like that was right when it was ending.
You know, like I went to an old electronics store to find like an old analog cable once, and this kid walks by with his dad. And I hear from the back, it's like, hey, Dad, I found the save icon. And I turn around, I see a fucking floppy disk.
Fucking icon.
I'm like, oh, shit, I'm so old.
I see a save icon.
You know, kids can't read the clock anymore
Yeah, apparently.
because it's all digital now.
Yeah, they don't
Can you
understand.
confirm? You teach them?
Teach them. Yeah.
Okay.
But they don't know how to read it? Like on a 6th grader, can you read the clock?
Case by case.
There you go. There is some cases.
I think you have to check high school kids, see if they retain the lesson. Yeah. But you know, one thing from the old world, at least my old world, I miss is Blockbusters.
Oh yeah, Videotron.
actually,
they used to have that.
You know,
too.
one thing I miss from the old world that I wish I still remember, writing fucking cursive.
Cursive, right?
Oh, I still write cursive.
I do not understand how to write
I
cursive
went to
anymore.
a French school. That's why.
No, but I went.
You went to French school too.
But I started because after like Sec 4 or Sec 3, you didn't have to write cursive anymore.
Oh, but I went to like a French, like from
so you
France.
had to do all your work in cursive?
Yeah, but the program was you know the French program is
Yeah.
that you skip 6th grade.
Yeah.
From 5th grade you go to high school. That kind of program. Marie de France.
Okay, Marie France.
Yeah. Marie de France or Marie France?
I don't remember.
I think maybe it is Marie France.
But yeah, I think it brings back to the topic. I think we went left, right, center,
We're always dancing around it.
far off field. But the biggest question to answer is it too late to grow up?
Is it too late to grow up?
To self-improve as a person?
Nah,
Is it
man.
ever too late? Is it ever too late?
It depends on your mindset.
Yeah.
If you think you did it all and you learned all, then yeah.
You know, that actually makes me think when I was at my lowest before, things started to look up and I started to make changes.
Like
and
like as a lawyer.
yeah. Before I quit my job and quit pursuing law school, when I was at my lowest, there was the most terrifying or
Despair.
the largest feeling of despair came from the fact that I thought it was too late. Like, oh fuck,
Yeah, bro.
I
get
it's too
you.
late, man.
I fucking
fucked
get
it up,
you.
right? And but that was just that was just the perspective, right?
Yeah.
And then when I started to realize I can change it, I everything that all the changes that have happened in the year, it was just literally making a decision. I can change it.
You know-
I can. It used to be like, I can never talk to my dad about this. I can't tell him I don't want to do this. But then I can, and I did, and I've done many things like that.
That
since.
happened to me during COVID too. I just realized I was during COVID after Boutique Tazi, after working at the retail and everything closed. I went back to the dep and then to my parents' store. And I thought that was going to be my life. Like, I thought I was going to be, like, taken over. I'm going to take over the store. I'm going to be like my parents. I'm going to make a good amount of money.
Good money, yeah, good life.
I could get a mortgage. I could get a brand new car. And we'll be good, And then Mina told me, it's like, nah, that's not. You could do so much better. Like, you have potential. You could do the fashion shit. You just have to fucking do it. You have to apply yourself. And you're better than just working at the store 12 hours a day. And then I was like, yeah, I guess so. Let me try. And then I started applying to jobs and I got into corporate. And, that's another adulthood. But it was a big change for me to get out of that generational expectation of me to follow my parents' legacy. And I think it's not a bad thing to respect your parents' legacy, to build build off it.
No, it's a tremendous gift.
Yeah,
for them to offer that to us.
It's definitely out of privilege, and I'm very.
And it's
thankful,
a great life. It's a good life, but I think for us, I don't know if it's our personality or.
I don't know if
whatever
we're
it is.
young and like we don't see it yet or we don't appreciate that yet.
It just didn't fit right with me. So I think it's a good life, and thank you so much to my parents for giving that to me. But it's just not my life.
Yeah,
it's not my life.
There you go. That's exactly how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, honestly, for me, like I've been doing photography for almost over a decade.
Even
now.
for you, man.
11 years.
Yeah.
I'm still learning things every day. I have this podcast. I have a suit store that we're filming in right now.
6 suits there.
I'm a photographer / creative consultant for a lot of startup companies. I still have no fucking idea what I'm doing in life. So honestly, for all of you that are looking at everything in life and just saying like, shit, is it too late for me to hop on something? I say, just do it. One important thing that I tell every single person that I meet is the moment you let go of your feelings and you stop learning, you quit being a human. So it's always good to learn new things. It's always good to try new things. It's never too late. Even if you're, for some reason, 60 and listening to this podcast, thank you.
Respect to you.
Respect to you.
Hey, we got some older folks listening to the podcast.
Wow. Yeah.
Remember there was like a mom and then she was like, oh, this is a really good
reached out,
podcast.
right?
Yeah, on
reached out.
Facebook, and then she was like, you know,
Good
one
example.
day, when my son is older, I'll tell him to listen to this podcast. This is how men can be, you know.
Oh shit!
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember.
I
you
don't
shared
remember
in the
that at
group.
all.
When my
Yeah.
son's older, I'll tell him to listen to this podcast.
That was so touching.
Yeah.
Did we ever reach out and say?
Yeah, we said
say
thank you.
something?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so I think that wraps up the episode. As always, my name's Danny.
Eugene's James.
Chinese sensation Kevin.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ. And remember to
KYP.
Kill your pride, baby.
Without breaking